Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Badun Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international educational and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. In Institute of Global Professional, IGP is the training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve student community research providing holistic social work and education. We believe that education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning game, website convert sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for the youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our session is conducted by global linear professionals to develop all kind of it and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continuous improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and hello. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,588 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,588 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and volunteer, at this moment, this is a very important message for all. We designed our website www.edigpoweb.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for once with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all the features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, then you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, sorry, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organized from my support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 type of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement, IGP Knowledge Seeking Government 2022. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 5, App Skilling, Organization, Leadership and Managerial Skills. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 7, Research and Comprehension Approach. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Art. Certificate of Participation, Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tool in Teaching Mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quiz from our website with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers, and join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 plus training services for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credential. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you check all button and pages on our website. If you like and say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1589 program, which name is the Unsung Heroes of COVID-19 Pandemic and Beyond. And today our speaker ma'am name is Sarini Dioxon Navelta. She is from Philippines. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, also share a very little bit about her. Associate Professor for College of Science and Education, University of Rizal System, Tanay, Rizal, Philippines. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon,
Ma'am,
everyone.
the stage
Thank
is
you
you.
so
You can
much.
start your presentation now.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Great day, everyone. I would like to thank Institute of Global Professionals for giving me the opportunity to share with you another learning experience this afternoon. Before I proceed to my presentation, I would like to introduce myself a little. I am Professor Sairina Valta from the Philippines, and this is my second time in IGP. And allow me also to personally commend IGP for having this very wonderful platform. Actually, IGP is one of a kind of giving the professionals all over the world the opportunity to share their experiences, their knowledge, their skills, no, in many fields of specialization. Thank you very much, IGP. I am very honored to be a part of your community. Thank you so much. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to start with my presentation. And the title of my presentation is The Unsung Heroes of COVID-19 Pandemic and Beyond. Um, I would like to acknowledge the significant role that the frontliners, no, which are in the medical fields, not only in the medical field, but also in other fields like our military, the police departments, and those who have participated as frontliners during the COVID-19 pandemic. We really appreciate all the efforts exerted by these people who really sacrificed a lot in order to protect all of us. This afternoon, I would like to give emphasis on the unsung heroes of COVID-19 pandemic. And not only during the COVID-19 pandemic, but um, even after this pandemic. No? So I would like to um, focus on the teachers. Okay. Let me make it clear that it's not only the teachers who served as the unsung heroes during this pandemic. There are a lot. Actually, all of us can be considered heroes because we were able to survive the challenges brought about by this pandemic to all of us. That we are very much aware that the challenges that we faced are not easy. So, but I would like to focus more on the role of teachers during the pandemic. Okay, so teachers. No? Okay, so teachers' role are the following. The very first one is teachers change lives. Um, we create or help create a lot of young professionals or professionals all over the world. It's so difficult to all of us have our own stories to tell when it comes to how we survived the pandemic. And teachers have a lot of things to share. And that is my purpose this afternoon. And that is to highlight the roles or the role of teachers, the role they played, especially in the lives of our students. Not only in the lives of our students, but also in the lives of their families. Number one is changing lives. Actually, that is one of the ultimate purpose of education. That is to change the lives of people for better status. You know, in the Philippines alone, our country is still uh, in the, let's say, a lot of people are still living in poverty. So it is very important to have an education, to pursue education such that people will earn a degree in order for them to improve the quality of their lives. And that is one of our purpose, that is to inspire. Another one is to inspire, no, continuously inspire the dreams of our younger generations. As teachers, we have a lot of things to share to our students. And one of our roles is to make them or help them realize that in spite of these challenges, we can still survive. They can still have that better future as long as they will subject themselves into formal trainings. So we keep on encouraging our students. Another one is it's not only changing lives and inspiring the dreams of our younger generations, but we also have to push the limits of human potential. Um, all professions are important, and teaching as a profession is one of the very important professions. uh, So let us acknowledge the participation of teachers, particularly during this pandemic. I would like to share to you my personal experience during this pandemic. Actually, you are looking at the picture of one of the batches that really suffered the consequences of pandemic. And luckily, these students are already graduates, or these graduates have already passed the licensure examinations for teachers because they are education students. Um, they they are actually the batch that I guess they were first year when pandemic began. And then these were actually pandemic students, pandemic graduates who never gave up with their dreams of becoming teachers. And now they are. almost all of them have already passed the licensure examination for teachers. Okay, so another one is that in our institution, we see to it that our students are exposed to varied learning activities. Particularly, I myself, I am engaged in science, so we see to it that our students were properly trained and they are expected to attain the different competencies expected of them to get from the course. So we have been doing this even before the time of pandemic. Actually, some of these pictures were taken before the pandemic hits. Um, we were really training our, or we train our students, no, in our capacities in order to help them learn and understand the different tasks that are given them. And then it is just good to see that when we see them graduate and then they land a job and then perform well in their job, that is already a manifestation that we as teachers did very well in helping them to be trained as responsible, progressive, and globally competitive graduates. So after this, we tend to, the training inside the institution does not end there. After we uh, gave the students the learnings that they need, we tend to have a follow up after they graduate here in the Philippines, particularly in our institution and in other state universities and colleges. We are conducting what we call tracer studies or employability status. We are trying to determine that in order for us to track what our graduates are already doing in the world of work. Okay, so these are some of the duties of teachers in shaping the future of our nations, our respective nations. Okay, so during the time of pandemic, I would like to reiterate that teachers have facilitated the conduct of online classes and other related activities, of course, to ensure continuity of learning. We are not claiming all the credits for this. We do acknowledge the participation of our administrators, no, and that who really served also as agents so that we can be able to give the assistance that our students need during the time of pandemic, as well as our government also. Our government never ceased to look for solutions to problems in education. So here, during online classes, I know it's not only in the Philippines, but it's a reality that happened all over the world. Wherein during the time of pandemic, it's a paradigm shift because after the face-to-face classes, we were suddenly forced to change with online platforms, online modalities of teaching, even modular. Here in the Philippines, we have practiced the online and or we have practiced the blended learning. That is what we call that, no? Wherein those students who have the capacity or capability to attend online classes, they do attend online classes. And for those students who are unfortunate, who do not have um, resources, they we help them to have modular classes or modular modality, wherein we send them materials in order for them to answer. But for those who are attending online classes, as much as possible, we teachers um, make our students feel normal, even we are facing um, one of the biggest challenges, no, in our life, and that is the COVID-19 pandemic. So we see to it that we give our students the information they need by conducting regular classes in online classes and giving them um, information, no, that they need. So in our case here, we try to focus on giving them all the information they need. It's just like conducting a normal classes in not normal or abnormal situation in time of pandemic. And I know it's not only us who adjust so much. So do our students. So do our the families of our students. Actually, we can also consider, not consider, but we can include all of us, as I have said, as heroes, no, on this pandemic. Especially the parents of our students. They serve as um, they help us during this time wherein the students are in they are homeschooling. So it's not only the teachers who are helping them to learn, but also they themselves as parents are guiding their children, particularly if they are answering modules or they are doing the tasks. And it's so difficult to do tasks which are usually done in the classroom when you are in your homes. You know, the environment is different. It's totally different when it comes to a formal school wherein there is a structured guide. There everything is structured, and now all students are forced to stay at home and then study their lessons there with the help of their parents. So we also acknowledge the efforts exerted by the parents uh, to their children. And then um, another one is that it's not only purely online classes that we have provided in our students, but we, as to the best possible we can, we conducted different webinars in order to supplement the knowledge and the information needed by the students. So I myself and our institution, particularly our college, have conducted a lot of webinars so that our students will be properly informed and they will also be engaged in different activities. It's also one way of fighting boredom and mental health issues during the pandemic. What we do, since our university is composed of different colleges, different campuses from different municipalities all over the province, we we tend to exchange um, experts. No, we request the participation of our experts from other campuses so that they can participate also with the activities that we do in our respective colleges and campuses. So in this case, we have invited resources or resource speakers rather from other campuses so that they will serve as resource speakers. Another one is, aside from that, teachers ensure active students' engagement by conducting activities utilizing materials readily available in their homes. One of the challenges, another challenge in conducting online classes is that the reality that the students do not have the proper materials, the proper resources at home. So it's really a challenge how to make the students understand the different lessons and how they will be able to attain the competencies needed if they have limited resources, because during the peak of the pandemic everyone is not allowed to go out of their homes, and that is really a hindrance in order for them to learn, okay, and to understand the lessons very well. Here, this is what I did during that time. And again, I know that these are all what we did during the pandemic. We strategize. There is where teachers are very good. That is in strategizing. If resources are not available, teachers can easily look for some alternatives just to give the students the opportunity to learn. Again, I would like to reiterate that this experience is the experience of a third world country, a developing country. um, it is good for those who are included in the first world country wherein everything is provided. But we, in our case, not everything is provided. And then we can also give limited assistance to our students. So, what we personally, or what I personally did during that time was, in order for them to understand this concept, you have to get available resources at home so that you can learn, no, this you can learn the lesson. So whatever material is available, as long as it has relevance in the subject or in the exercise or activity, um, we let the students use them, or use them, no, or these resources. uh, in reality of that, what we are doing during that time is, it's so difficult because we have to demonstrate uh, online. So that is really a challenge. So, and then it's not only the students who are having problems with resources, it's also the teachers. The teachers are also having difficult time looking for resources such that they can share the information to their students. So here, we were conducting experiment in osmosis. So I asked them to prepare the following materials that they do not need to go out during that time, as long as the materials are available and can be used as substitute for original materials needed. And then this one, the slide or the picture below, I am handling mosses, hepatics, and ferns. So I'm teaching my students to collect, process, and preserve different specimens. So they do not need to go out, but the mosses available in their backyard, they collected that, and then I helped them process that, and that's it. So we strategize and we use alternative materials or improvised materials just to ensure that learning will be continuous, or yeah, will be continuous. And then um, another challenge that faced students and also teachers is when having their undergraduate thesis. It's actually the conduct of their thesis. The other slide here, no, we have our students here presenting the output of their thesis. uh, During that time, it's so difficult. It was really difficult because they cannot go out, and yet they are graduating. So it's really difficult how to uh, implement the conduct of, say, experiments, or in this case they did some developmental activity. So we also have provided leniency to our students during that time. um, instead of having that very sophisticated experiments, we help them come up with products using the available resources at home, um, so that they too can still create something from whatever is available. So it's really a challenge, no? But we did it. They did it. It's just a matter of determination to learn. So what I'm trying to point out here is that we teachers really um, do everything we can in order for us to help our students um, grasp the lessons and learn these basic competencies. Okay. So another one here is that, again, as I have said, we did a lot of demonstrations such that our students can understand how to do it, particularly in that particular subject, which is mosses, hepatics, and ferns. Um, it has been very difficult for me how uh, to demonstrate the students to do the proper collection of moss, and how to do that in, or how to preserve that in paper packets, so on and so forth. And then also, along with the demonstrations that we did, we also have to acknowledge the benefits of internet connectivity. We also have to acknowledge the resources that we can find online, wherein PowerPoint presentations can be downloaded so that we can share that to our students. And then another one is that we are doing the tracking, no, of our students' progress. So, it has been a pandemic, but and we are still in a pandemic, but the work of teachers are still the same. Um, Others are saying, or we're saying, that it's the parents who are teaching their children. Yes, we do acknowledge that, but it's still with the guidance of the teachers. And then, if the children, for example, did 100 to 200 or even 300 or more learning tasks, the same sacrifice will be done, or will be done by teachers by checking 300 tasks or learning tasks per student. So if a teacher, particularly in the Philippines, we have a lot of number of students in a classroom, say 40 to 60 pupils per classroom, particularly in public schools. So imagine how many learning tasks the teachers will check during those times. So it's not really, the work of teachers did not really stop because it is pandemic. The work of teachers continue. The task given to us continue, and our duty and role as teachers oblige us to do that with dedication and love for our students. Another challenge that we faced during that time, no, in online classes, is, if you can see in the uh, picture below, you can see a student covering her eyes while she was reciting. Actually, uh, I did not tell her to cover her eyes. She volunteered. Um, she volunteered that gesture of covering her eyes while having recitation, because she told me that she cannot concentrate. Such a gesture is a manifestation that, in reality, during that time, cheating is rampant, especially it's online. We cannot see really exactly what our students are doing. So it's only a matter of giving them our full trust. So her gesture was the beginning of her classmates followed suit. No? So every time we have activity in oral recitation, they will tell me that, "Ma'am, I will recite. I will cover my eyes. If they will not cover their hands, they will cover it with something as long as they will cover their eyes and then do the recitation." And I did really appreciate that. That is one of the problems encountered by teachers during that time, because we cannot really assess who are doing the uh, assignments, the homeworks, the task of our students. They can easily copy from the internet. And although we can track it, of course, um, as teachers, we do see to it that our students are exercising honesty in doing their homeworks, in doing their exercises. That is establishing their integrity also. So the good, the virtues, the values that are expected to learn by our students are properly reiterated by the teachers. So it's not an easy task, and we are all aware of that. Okay, moving on. Aside from the online learning, before that, yeah, yeah. So aside from the online learning, we also conduct modular learning modality. This was also utilized during asynchronous sessions. One of the challenges during that time was that most of our students were find it difficult to have cell phones, laptops, the gadgets that they need in online classes. And there were really some students who were really very poor, so they cannot really participate in the online classes. And we cannot just simply fail them. We have to extend help and give the utmost consideration that we can give them. We cannot deprive our students to learn because they do not have the gadgets that they need. So what we did was we made modules so that we can give these modules to them, and they can work on during asynchronous or asynchronous sessions. For those who really cannot access no, on the internet, we travel just to give them the materials that they need. We printed that in hard copies so that they can answer the modules. It happened in the basic education from elementary, junior high school, senior high school, and even up to the tertiary level. So we did that. And then after that, we have this monitoring no, of their progress. And sometimes it's difficult for them. The usual problem that they face during that time is signal problem. um, they do not have the gadgets, they do not have signal, and then they do not have the resources to buy these gadgets. It's a sad reality that many of our students are poor. So we have nothing to do but to, we can do nothing but to engage in modular learning modality. So it's really a blended learning that we practice during that time. And then I would like to focus um, much attention on the mobile teachers of the Department of Education. Before I will discuss much of these pictures, I would like to acknowledge the source no, of this picture from the Philippine Star. Wait, I cannot read, but I acknowledge the source here. It's not my picture. I just use it in order to present to you what the mobile teachers of the Department of Education were doing during that time, wherein they really cross challenges. They risk their lives in order to deliver the modules to their students. The usual, this happens in a normal school, and also what we have, the Department of Education is also having what we call the alternative learning system. Uh, they do this. No, we have our mobile teachers who are doing that to um, send the modules to the students, and once they reach the area, no, usually these areas are located in mountain barangays, so you will really admire the sacrifices given by this group of teachers who really did not look for themselves. These were really teachers who are selfless, um, doing their best, doing their everything for the benefit of our students, for the benefit of education, and that is really remarkable. So actually, I wish I could have focused more, no, on the mobile teachers, because they really are the ones who really made a lot of sacrifices during the pandemic, most especially that the mountain barangays are far from the city centers, so they really traveled for, say, 1 day, 1 to 3 days before they on foot. Please take note of that, on foot. So they had to travel far in order to reach the community or certain communities in mountain barangays, and conduct the classes to our fellow men. And for the information of everyone, um, the alternative learning system, no, they cater multi-grade, wherein those who are interested to learn, particularly those in the ethnic groups, or indigenous peoples, there is no such thing as age limit there, no, or age requirement. Um, they can start from the youngest to the oldest students. Sometimes mothers, fathers, they are also engaged in, or they were engaged in answering the modules or the lessons, so that they can still learn. So that is how important education is, and that is also how important the role of teachers play during this, especially during the time of pandemic. You know, the agony faced by these teachers crossing rivers, crossing mountains, huh? Uncertain of what the day will give them or will bring them, but they did not think about it. What they have in their minds is to reach the people who are in need of learning, people who are in need of education, such that they can improve their lives. That is how they value education very much. So I personally salute our teachers, our mobile teachers, and also the Department of Education in having this kind of program, just to ensure the continuity of learning. Okay. So aside from those, it's not purely online classes that we did, that we conduct lessons so that the students will learn. But during the peak of pandemic, we tend, as I have said, we tend to normalize the lives of our students. So we still conduct activities that will really cultivate their potentialities, that we're in activities wherein they can showcase their talents. So here we in our college, no, so again, this is just a representation of all schools who really did very well in order to ensure the learning opportunity for their students. So in our college, this is what we did. So we conduct different activities like um, cultural activities, and then here we have contests, different contests. So life goes on. It's what we did. So here students can still showcase their artistic talents, no, artistic prowess, so that they can still develop the so-called, and we can still cater the so-called multi-intelligences. So it's not only intelligence that is always being measured, but also what our students can do other than their intellectual capabilities. So we did that, no? And I know many or almost all of the schools did that. Because now we are here in the Philippines, we are in the full implementation of the face-to-face classes. So no more of the online classes, although some were still um, conducting online classes, but that is on an irregular basis already. So for valid reasons also. But the majority of the schools here are now conducting full face-to-face classes. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so another one, another remarkable uh, activity that happened during that time was, since as I have said, a lot of students were poor and they do not have the capability to uh, excuse me, buy, excuse me, gadgets and to serve, no, as their learning tool. What our college did, headed by our dean facilitated uh, the dean of the college facilitated the conduct of assist a program that will enable to raise funds, and even in the form of gadgets, so that we can give them or these gadgets to unfortunate students, those who are really deserving to have that. So they conducted some sort of screening, such that those students who were really in need of that gadget, for example, a cell phone, a tablet, will be chosen. So they did this for batches. So they assisted students who are in need of gadgets to be used in the online learning. So I guess they conducted that. Our college conducted that for um, 2 to 3 batches. And here are the students who were the beneficiaries of the program. And I really appreciated the gesture, the initiative of our dean of doing this. Here in the Philippines, we call it, or here in our college, we call it Gadget Ayuda. And there are uh, organizations of students who facilitated the conduct of this. We have the College of Science and Education Student Council and the Bachelor of Arts in English Language Studies. They were the ones who sponsored this, and we do acknowledge the help that they give to our students who are in need. So actually, as much as possible, it's not purely learning that the teachers did during the pandemic, no, that or they gave to our students. um, it's a combination of um, moral support, all the support, no, that we can give to our students in order for them to continue their studies, because there were lots of students during that time who stopped. First, due to lockdowns. Second, their families really lost a lot because their parents were unemployed because there were massive unemployment in the Philippines during the peak of the pandemic. So you can imagine how many families really struggled in order to let their children participate in online classes and even conduct modular or engaged into modular learning. So these were just some of the sacrifices that the teachers really are doing in order to help our students to have that better future, to improve their lives. We never cease to inspire, to motivate our students not to stop, not to give up on their dreams. And that is our role as teachers. Okay, so moving on. Um, After the peak of the pandemic, the online classes, the modular classes, because we are now having our full face-to-face classes. Still, the the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic does not end there. We thought that, or some may think that because it's already face to face, we will be back to normal and there will be some sort of reduced in problems or um, few problems to be encountered. But actually, there are still challenges. So after the pandemic, here now we have to do full face-to-face classes. Again, I would like to reiterate that in the Philippines, not all universities are very much equipped of the sophisticated resources that we need in order for the uh, learning to take place harmoniously. There are really challenges. And allow me to discuss to you some. When we had that, just to share to you, when we had that full face-to-face classes. So no more online, no more modular. So we now facing our students conducting face-to-face classes. One of the problems and challenges that we encountered as teachers really is behavior management among students. So what I'm just trying to emphasize here is that um, we came from an online class, a modular class, not seeing our students, and these students not seeing their teachers. You know what the problem was? That some of the students, not all of them, no, but some of the students, they have this behavior um, problems uh, when it comes to going back to school and have that formal education in school. So we as teachers have to address that. We have to redirect the focus, the attention, the behavior of our students such that they can adjust themselves in the new normal learning environment. Um, it's really difficult on the part of teachers because when they were having their online classes, the behavior might be different, no? When they were homeschooling, and then suddenly they will now be back in face-to-face classes. Then another adjustment in their behavior will be um, conducted. No, they have to adjust. So behavior management is really one of the issues that we teachers really encountered when our students came back to school. Another one is addressing missed learning competencies. I can share to you this experience of mine that My youngest child was in third grade when pandemic began, and then she was in sixth grade when the full face-to-face classes was implemented, or were yes, the full face-to-face classes. No? So you can really imagine the gap, the learning gap, and the learning gap brought by almost 3 years of lockdowns. So let's put it in the part of the teachers. How will now the teachers will solve the issue on meeting the gap between the lost competencies, learning competencies, the missed, not the lost, but the missed learning competencies that our students should learn during this period of pandemic. So it's really a challenge for the teachers. So the teachers has nothing to do but to go back such that she or he can connect the lessons very well. Because online classes really is incomparable with face-to-face classes. I know a lot of you can relate to that. And we are dealing with the students who are now in a different generation. Our students now are in a generation of sophisticated technologies. Even some of them are much better users of technology, more knowledgeable than their teachers. So it's also a challenge for the teachers to be adept of these technologies, so that their students will not teach us, or our students will not teach us how to use this particular app. So training, no? We really have to be trained. Okay, another one is curriculum realignment. That is another challenge. Um, in curriculum realignment, we have this face-to-face classes, or the normal classes before the pandemic, and then here now is the online. Here now is the pandemic, having online and modular classes. So we adjusted our curriculum for that. There was really, or there were really adjustment in the curriculum. No? And then, so another one is that, again, here is now the uh, implementation of the full face-to-face classes, back to school. So there will be another adjustment in the curriculum for that. Because, for example, the modules that were made during the pandemic were no longer applicable with the modules that will be used in the condition, or the present condition of going back to school. So there is really something that needs to be done. And these all affect the teachers. Another one is the never ending issue on the ancillary tasks. These were the different added tasks given to teachers aside from teaching. And this was a burden to us teachers, no, having these different ancillary tasks. Actually, it will take not only an hour to talk about these ancillary tasks. We just hope, I personally hope, especially those who are teaching in the uh, basic education, that these ancillary tasks be lessened. No? Even in tertiary education, no? In tertiary level, ancillary task really dominates. So it really hinders the teacher or the teachers to focus on their teaching. So the time of teaching must be devoted to teach and not to do these ancillary tasks. I'm not saying here that we will not accept this ancillary task, but I am referring to the percentage of ancillary tasks must be lower than the time for actual teaching. That is my only concern. So that the teacher can really do their job. The teachers can really do their job. So how can we impart knowledge to our students, no? How can we share everything that we have in mind to our students if the minds of their teachers were focused somewhere else? No? Thinking of the different ancillary tasks that they have to do and that they have to finish because they have these deadlines. Okay, so it's really is a challenge to all of us. Another one is teachers training and professional growth. It's really an issue that teachers must be equipped with training such that we can also equip our students. It's a popular saying that goes like this: you cannot give what you do not have. So the teachers must be equipped, properly trained, and must be provided with the knowledge and skills so that we can impart also that to our students successfully and effectively. Another one is salaries and benefits. We are happy that we are in the positions we're in. We were properly compensated. But in general, um, salaries and benefits when it comes to teachers really is an issue. These are really an issue, or these are really issues that needs to be or need to be addressed. And finally, although there is still lots of challenges that we teachers face, I just mentioned some here. We have facilities improvement. You know, based on our experience during the time of pandemic, no, because of these lockdowns, we were not able to go to school regularly. There were only some, no, they do that in a rotational basis. Members of the staff have some sort of rotation in schedule to monitor the different facilities in the university or in the campuses, so that we can ensure that they are still functioning. But in reality, is that it's not enough. You know, when we go back to the full face-to-face classes, because the different microscopes, um, televisions, they were not opened regularly. They were not properly maintained. Um, a lot of this equipment really malfunctioned. So that is one of the problems. I know not only in our university, but also in other universities as well. So it's important. Maintenance is not enough. It is better for this equipment to be used daily. So I'm not blaming the members of the staff who are doing that. No, it's not my point. My point here is um, this equipment must be used regularly. Once you did not use that regularly or use this regularly, they will not function properly. So that's the price of having these lockdowns. It's not only the human resources who were really affected, but also the physical resources. And then because we have our physical resources affected, it requires a lot of financial support in order to revive, to repair, to buy new equipment, such that can be used in the or it can be used in instruction. So these are the different challenges that we faced. And you know, the role of teacher does not end there. Um, Pandemic will stop. It will eventually stop. Um, but the role, the challenges, the teachers are facing in the field of education will never stop. So it's a challenge to all of us. It's not only for the teachers, but for the government. It's a challenge for our nation to really rebuild not only the physical resources, but the spirit of teachers, the spirit of humans, the spirit of men, in order for us to move forward. So these are the different challenges that I have listed. And then, in spite all of this, you know, they said that we Filipinos were like a bamboo. uh, when there were typhoons, bamboo bend. Uh, this and then when the typhoon is over, it's easily for us to bounce back. And I know it's not only Filipinos, all of us, a lot of us have that character. We easily bounce back in spite of the challenges that we face. And that should be our character, that should be our attitude. Let us not let these challenges uh, push us or pull us. No? Instead, let us use these challenges to be stronger, to show our resilience. No? And that resilience, that sense of strength, no, must start from us, not only on not only as teachers, but all of us. Because as I have said, it's not only the teachers, it's not only the frontliners, it's not only the policemen, it's not only the military, it's not only the government officials, the local government officials. All of us are heroes of this time. Okay, that ends my presentation. Let me leave you this saying by Henry Adams, saying that a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something today from my sharing. Hello, ma'am. I'm done with my presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seekers surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seekers can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together as we knowledge seekers. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the most one more valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certificate and online quiz completion. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, I think the topic is clear to everyone, so there is no question. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, IGP, for having me. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you so much, ma'am. Take care. Honorable Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave the studio, you can, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Yeah, come on. আমাকে থ্যাঙ্কসগিভিং ভিডিওটা দেবো না থ্যাঙ্কসগিভিং ভিডিওটা Certification process. Certificate instruction. Step 1. Visit www.eduyjp.com. Please make sure you're present on our website. Step 2. Find a running session and get enrolled. Step 3. After watching or completing part 1 video session, click mark as complete. Step 4. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. Step 5. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, to retake the quiz. Step 6. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure and certification instruction. Step 1. Visit www.eduyjp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website, sign in or sign up. Step 2. Find a running session and get enrolled. Step 3. After watching or completing part 1 video session, click mark as complete. Step 4. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. Step 5. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, to retake the quiz. Step 6. Download the certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Participation process. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. For some technical problems, we can continue our quiz from the website. To join our quiz, you have to go to www.slido.com, and today's quiz code is 6450229. 6450229. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 19 people, we will start our quiz session. Our first question is: following the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Lab for Heroes campaign was launched in which city? Option 1 Tokyo, option 2 London. And the correct answer is option 2 London. 53% people are correct here. And the leaderboard for this question is Alex Xavier Alvarez. And the next question is: the heroes of COVID-19 are option 1 Les Compares option 2 less cashiers. And the correct answer is option 2. 65% people are correct here. In the leaderboard, first position is Alex Xavier Alvarez. And the third question is the frontline heroes of the COVID-19 situation are option 1 doctors and nurse, option 2 nurse and social workers. And the correct answer is option 1 doctor and nurse. 75% people are correct here. In the leaderboard, first question is Alex Xavier Alvarez. And the next question is who is the one of the anti-epidemic heroes of COVID-19 in Malaysia? Option 1 Dato Cheng Nun Ho, option 2 Tan Sri Nur Hisham bin Abdullah. And the correct answer is option 2 Tan Sri Nur Hisham bin Abdullah. 80% people are correct here. In the leaderboard, first question is Alex Xavier Alvarez, and the next question is guess the contribution of these everyday heroes during the COVID-19 circuit breaker period. Option 1 free food delivery for Singaporeans. Option 2 allow local hawkers to list stalls for free. And the correct answer is option 2 allow local hawkers to list stalls for free. 35% people are correct here. In the leaderboard, first question is Mary Grace Timbaga. And the sixth question is guess the contribution of these everyday heroes during the pandemic circuit breaker period. Option 1 sing along session weekly. Option 2 online tutoring support for students. And the correct answer is option 2 online tutoring support for students. 86% people are correct here. In the leaderboard, first question is Mary Grace Timbaga. And the next question is guess the contribution to this everyday use during the COVID-19 circuit breaker period. Option 1 sweep cloth mask and distribute them to the community. Option 2 distribute recycled cloths to the needy. And the correct answer is option 1. And the leaderboard first question is Mary Grace Tumaga. And the next question is guess the contribution of these everyday heroes during the COVID-19 circuit breaker period. Option 1 ensuring safe distancing measures are met. Option 2 maintaining high levels of cleanliness. And the correct answer is option 2 maintaining high levels of cleanliness. 43% people are correct here. In the leaderboard first question is Lia Fakunda. And the next question is the doctor are trying very hard to save the patients of COVID-19 dash are heroes. I option 1 I option 2 they. And the correct answer is option 2 they. 100% people are correct here. In the leaderboard first question is uh, Amir Aziz. And the second is Ria Panpula. Third is Alex. Fourth Aram. And the fifth is Mary Grace Timbaga. And the last question is healthcare professionals fighting the effects of COVID-19 could be seen as heroes in the midst of the hero's journey. Is it true or false? The correct answer is option 1. 1% people are correct here in the leaderboard. First question is Amir Aziz. Second is Leah. Third is Alex. Fourth is Iram. And fifth is Mary. Congratulations, Amir Aziz. Congratulations to Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winners top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winners top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page, Institute of Global Professionals. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skills. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to if you want to live a happy life, type to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, once again thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you in the next session. Thank you.